AI image generation doesn't have to cost a fortune. In this video, I'm going to reveal a secret hack that lets you generate thousands of AI-generated images for free per day, and you don't have to spend a dime. These generations are going to be on par with the quality of image generators like Midjourney, and you can do it directly from their website or hook it up to your web app. Let's get started. I stumbled across this method when exploring Hugging Face. Hugging Face is a community website that hosts the most popular AI models. Not just image models, but text models as well. But let's say I wanted to generate an image with Flux. We see this is the Flux model right here. And it is something that we could download to our own computer or server, run locally, and generate images for free that way. But a lot of us, myself included, don't have the hardware or specs to run it quickly and properly. But thankfully, Hugging Face has something called the Inference API. If you find a model that is warm, meaning it's very popular and a lot of users are generating images with that model, they host it on their platform for free and allow you to generate thousands of images for free using those models before you have to set up your own server and run them yourself. I purchased the basic plan, so I get 20,000 images per day. But on a basic free account, you get 1,000 images per day. And then for $9 a month, you get up to 20,000 images per day. And if your production needs are past that point, you can start generating images and text for as low as 3 cents per hour. If you want to test the Inference API for yourself, just search up your required model. Again, I searched Flux. They have multiple Flux models available. Let's do Flux Dev model. It's the page I'm on right now. I can type in my prompt. I'm going to write an astronaut riding a horse on a new planet. Let's hit compute. This is a large model, so it's going to take a little bit of time to generate your image. This one only took 20 seconds to generate. And look at this. I can right click, save to my computer, and I just generated a beautiful Flux image completely for free. If you click on the warm button and then browse all warm text to image models, you'll see all the options available for this Inference API. We have Stable Diffusion XL, Flux Schnell, Stable Diffusion 3.5 large, and some community fine-tuned models like Pixel Art XL. I can click into the model, ensure that the Inference API is warm, update my prompt, click compute, and we get our result right here. This image of a panda was fine-tuned using a Stable Diffusion pixel art model. If we want to take these APIs off the platform, we can also do just that. Here I am in bubble.io, and I've created a brand new page in my app called Image Generation. So I'm going to make it a little pretty first. Let's change the background color to a light gray. And now I'm going to add a group onto the page. We're going to make this group white. It's going to have some rounded edges and maybe a little drop shadow. Let's move it 100 pixels from the top. And we're going to make sure it only stretches 500 pixels wide. Let's center it on the page. I'll change the min height so we can see what we're working with. Next, I'm going to grab an image element. Let's drag it into the group. I'm going to remove its fixed width, but then clicking on the group, let's scroll down and we'll give it some padding, maybe 20 pixels all the way around. Therefore, the image element fits nicely within the group. We are going to keep the aspect ratio of the image. It's going to be a 2:3 aspect ratio, so a landscape image. And then let's scroll down. We'll find the multi-line input form element, drag it into the group. Let's remove its fixed width. Let's make it 50 pixels tall and bump it up 20 pixels from the top image. I'm going to put a border around this image just so we can see what we're working with. Let's make the input box's border the same color. Okay, and our page looks something like this. So we have a prompt at the bottom and then the image to display after typing in the prompt. Let's add one more element. Let's add a button. We'll put it right here. Let's write generate. We'll center the button. Again, 20 pixels from the element above it. And there we go. Now we need to set up our API call. So we're going to go to plugins and make sure that the API connector is installed. If it's not installed, go to add plugins, search for API connector, install it into your Bubble app. We're going to go to add another API. Let's call this one image generation. We need to add a shared header. This is going to be authorization. And now we need a secret key. So bare space. From Hugging Face, click on your profile. You're going to click access tokens, then create a new token. I like to enable all of these for the access token, but the big ones you need to enable are under the Inference API. So I enable all of these. Name your access token. Scroll down, click create token, copy this token, and paste it right here. Now expand the actual API call. We're going to use as an action. The data type is going to be an image. It's going to be a post request. And then on Hugging Face, after you've searched for your desired model, let's say I want to use Stable Diffusion 3.5 large, we ensure that it's a warm inference API. We're going to click on view code, then click the curl command and copy this URL to paste in here. This model's URL looks like this: api-inference.huggingface.co/models/stability AI/stable diffusion 3.5 large. Next, for the JSON body, we can go back and grab just the simple inputs command. So copy this, paste it in here. We don't want to use this prompt. We want to make it dynamic. So add a caret bracket, write prompt, end the caret bracket. Let's delete this text here. I also like to delete the quotation marks next to prompt. So it looks something like this. And if you click outside, it's going to open up this new text box. Let's uncheck private and then write in a test prompt. So quotations, an astronaut riding a horse on a new planet. And the quotation marks. Check include errors in response and allow workflow actions to continue. Then click initialize call. And after a few seconds, you'll get this result. If I show raw data, I see this URL right here. I'm going to copy that entire URL, paste it into my browser. Look at the quality of the images from the new Stable Diffusion 3.5 large model. You'll notice that this aspect ratio is still a square. What if I wanted a landscape image? Well, that is done with parameters. If you add in parameters and then a width and a height, you can start generating images in a landscape orientation. If I click reinitialize call, show raw data, copy this URL, and paste it into the browser, now we get a landscape image of an astronaut riding a horse. You can fiddle around with the width and height to get your desired aspect ratio, but I found that a lot of them do not work. Unfortunately, there isn't good documentation for what aspect ratios work with the Inference API. I'm not sure why Hugging Face doesn't share that, so I went on stability.ai. This is the official API docs for Stable Diffusion. I went to generate Stable Diffusion 3.0 and 3.5, and then I scrolled down to the parameters. I found the aspect ratio section, and I started to fiddle around with these numbers using different widths and different heights until the API calls worked. In theory, you should be able to generate all of these orientations: 16 by 9, 1 by 1, 21 by 9, all the way up to 9 by 21. For the last step, let's hook up our page that we created earlier. I'm going to double click on the page itself. Click the I button up here. Click to add a new custom state. Let's call this image. The state type is going to be image. Click create. Now I'm going to double click the image, make it a dynamic image for the source. Let's go insert dynamic data. The page's name is image generation, that custom state of image, and the text should turn green, saying that this is a correct image source. Now on the button element, I can click to add a workflow. Let's click to add an action. So when this button is clicked, we're going to go to plugins, image generation API call. The prompt is going to be dynamic data, and it's going to be that multi-line inputs value. And then if we search for formatted as JSON safe, what that's going to do is put quotation marks automatically around this text and then escape any bad characters that may break the API call. And after this step, we're going to click to add another action. We're going to go element actions, set state, set the state of the page, that custom state of image, and the value is going to be the result of step one's body. So the user clicks the button, it makes the API call with what they put in the input box, and then it sets the state of the page to that image result from the API call, and then we display it right here as an image. Let's click preview to test it out. Let's go an astronaut riding a giant banana in space. Let's click generate. You'll see the bar at the top is loading. That means we're waiting for the API call's response. And after a couple of seconds, we get this. It's an astronaut riding a banana in space. If I go to data and then file manager, I can pull up a high quality version of this image, which looks something like this. If connecting an AI image generator to your own web app was interesting, then I suggest you check out my course, How to Build a Custom AI App. In this course, I teach you how to build your very own AI app or tool that you can use as a business and sell as a SaaS. If you click on View the Syllabus, you can see all of the modules and lessons that I have to offer. The one you'll probably like the most is adding AI features. I'll drop a link to this in the description below. If you're looking for a comprehensive business suite of AI agents for your company, check out the web app that I've built, youraiagent.com. We have everything from auto blogging to Pinterest agents, blue sky bots, chat bots, AI email support, automatically writing and posting LinkedIn content, Reddit bots, SERP writers, which scrape Google's for the top article results and then use that as a data source for new articles. Reddit bots, Amazon affiliate bots, Tumblr bots, Twitter bots, and YouTube comment responders. If you want to come check it out, I'll leave a link to a playlist on my channel that talks about all of these AI agents and more. I'll drop that in the description as well. And if you like this video, I put 2 more on the screen right now. Both have been catered to your personal YouTube watch history. Give one of them a click for me, give it a watch, and I'll see you in there. Peace.